Check this out, guys. We've got the GT500 Super Snake at a pretty nice location right now. One thing that's awesome about California is that you have locations like this where you can just park your car or drive through the mountains and stuff. When I was in Detroit, it seemed like everything was just flat all over the place. Anyway, so guys, in our last episode, so many of you reached out to me asking me, hey, how did you get 2 allocations for a new GT500? Also, how much money are you paying over sticker? And the third question I was asked, which was the most popular question, was that, can you help me find a GT500 at a reasonable price? And the reason why they're asking me that is because when it comes to trying to buy a new 2020 GT500, it can be really difficult to do so because it is a limited edition Mustang to some extent. And when you're calling up your Ford dealership or walking into your local Ford dealership, what happens is that when you walk in, you ask them, hey, can I place an order down for a new GT500? Can I get one? And they tell you, okay, you can get our allocation, but we're only getting 1 or 2 of them. If you're lucky, maybe 3 or 4 for your dealership. And since the dealerships get an allocation of these cars, and it's not like normal Mustangs where they can just stock order them, they are asking for money over sticker. And you may be wondering, okay, paying over sticker for a limited edition Mustang, that could be pretty reasonable. However, though, the part that's just crazy to think about is that of the prices. Some dealerships here in California, where I live, are charging $50,000 over sticker for their new GT500s. And I'm not talking about the golden ticket carbon fiber track package GT500. I'm talking about base model GT500s going for $50,000 over sticker. I'm not kidding about this. The larger Ford dealerships here in SoCal are actually charging that much money. What's even more hilarious is that I've seen dealerships charging $60,000 for the new GT500s. Just think about that, paying $50,000 to $60,000 over sticker for your 2020 GT500 when the car costs, I think, $70,000. My point is this: if you pay $50,000 over sticker for a $70,000 GT500, you're looking at not just a 6-figure Mustang, you're looking at a $130,000 to $140,000 Mustang out the door. That really is crazy to think about. And since this is happening, it really is turning off a lot of buyers out there because they really do want to buy this new car. It is going to be a high performance and affordable American sports car, which is going to be awesome in that regard. But the issue is, how do you get the car at a good deal? Because I think most people wouldn't want to spend $50,000 over a sticker. And $50,000 is really the high end of everything. Markups range from everything from $2,500 over sticker to 50 to 60 grand. So I've seen them just all over the place. Here's the deal, guys. In this episode, I really do want to help you find your GT500. And really, this is going to apply to anyone trying to buy a new car that has a markup. For example, the new Toyota Supra, I've seen huge markups on those, and it really does shock me because you walk into a Toyota dealership and you see a $20,000 markup on top of a Supra. That's surprising, I think. Even with Ford dealerships and their Ford Raptors. I've seen Ford dealerships here in California selling their Ford Raptors for $15,000 over sticker. Can you imagine paying that? They've made a ton of Ford Raptors. It's not like this car, for example. This thing, there's only 50 of these ever made. This is a GT500 Super Snake Signature Edition. We're not talking about anything like this. We're talking about a mass-produced Ford Raptor being sold for $15,000 over sticker. And the biggest issue of all is that they don't exactly reflect supply and demand. And I mean that in this sense. You can walk into your local Ford dealership and they tell you, okay, we have a new GT500 allocation up and available, up for sale, and we want $35,000 over sticker. Well, you can call up another Ford dealership, maybe 50 miles away or so, and they're selling theirs for $10,000 over sticker. The price differences are just shocking. What I'm trying to say is this: it can be extremely hard trying to find the right deal on this new GT500. And because I'm getting 2 cars, I've personally experienced all of this firsthand. My first car, though, is a carbon fiber track package GT500. So what does that mean? Well, it is the highest performing version of this new GT500 on the road course, but at the same time, most carbon fiber track package GT500s won't be delivered until next year. In the pursuit of trying to get one as soon as possible, I had to pick up the phone and call up hundreds of Ford dealerships across the country. For this next part, I'm going to go ahead and sit down inside the car. It's pretty easier to explain, I think. Now, I'm getting two GT500s, like I said a few times, and the first one, the carbon fiber track package GT500, I'm getting that car for MSRP. It is all dependent on the people I'm working with and the relationship I have with them, so I was pretty lucky when it came to that. Now, when it came to getting a second GT500, that was when it got hard, and I mean that because I just started looking for my second car a few weeks ago, very late to the game. So there's just no way for me to get a second GT500 from the same dealership I'm getting my carbon fiber track package from. What did I have to do? Well, I picked up the phone, I started calling dealerships across the country. When I was looking for it, I came into the game having three things on my mind. First of which is that I want to find a car that was already ordered by a dealership. Secondly, I wanted to find a car that has a VIN number, and lastly, I wanted to find a car that has a build date, specifically before the winter production shutdown. I called so many dealerships, and they told me, yeah, we're not getting our car till spring of next year, our allocation is not due until then, and that really did make it very difficult. What's funny is that I was calling dealerships up in Montana, and they're telling me, yeah, a big Ford dealership bought up our allocations for $20,000 over sticker. And I was just shocked because this dealership was in the middle of nowhere basically, and they told me a Las Vegas dealership bought up all their cars. And this didn't happen one time, it happened many times. What's happening is that the bigger Ford dealerships are buying up cars all across the country, having them delivered to their dealership, and they're charging massive markups on it. The question is, what do you do? How do you combat this? How do you find one of these cars? Well, here's what I learned. When it comes to calling a Ford dealership, the first thing you need to do is always ask for a sales manager or an internet salesperson. And that is because whenever I would call a Ford dealership and I talk to a normal salesman, the first thing they say is that, okay, I want to have your information. Can you leave me your name and your phone number and I'll get back to you. Most of the time when I did that, nobody would ever call me back. I did get to a point where I just couldn't take it anymore. And also speaking directly with the sales manager, oftentimes they know a lot more regarding this subject than the normal salesman. What's also funny is that most of these Ford dealerships that I called, when I talked to a normal salesman, they didn't know what a GT500 was. They go, oh, you mean a Mustang GT, a 2020 Mustang GT? Oh no, we don't have any of those just quite yet. Or they think you're talking about a GT350 or a GT350R. So first things first, always talk to a sales manager. Secondly, don't be afraid to call dealerships all across the US. So many people give up when it comes to trying to look out of state. I had one guy who reached out to me a few days back asking me, hey, what do I do? I had an order placed at this one big California dealership, and next thing you know, they wanted $50,000 over sticker. I called the next one, they wanted $35,000 over sticker. I don't know, how do I find this car? And the first thing I said was that, well, call out of state. That's what you have to do. For me personally, a local Ford dealership has a new GT350R being sold for $15,000 over sticker. That is a lot of money. And let's say you call out of state, or you just look about 30 or so miles away, you'll find one for MSRP. There are many reasons as to why. So the first thing you have to do is that don't just listen to what one Ford dealership has to tell you, and then tell you it's super rare, super limited, and when you do buy it, it's going to go up about 200% in value in just 4 years. Don't listen to that. Whatever you do, don't listen to that. It's just not true. I've learned this firsthand. The new 2020 GT500 is not going to be a super rare car. For the first year alone, Ford is making 5,000 GT500s. That's a lot, and that's just for the first year, guys. Imagine this, imagine 4 years down the line. We're gonna see quite a few of these cars driving around, and from calling dealerships, it seemed like every other Ford dealership had 1 or 2, even 3 of these cars coming in. There are so many cars coming in that you can really disregard what one Ford dealership tells you and look around everywhere. Guys, there are over 3,000 Ford dealerships across the country. There are so many opportunities to find the best dealership to work with. Don't give up. Overall, out the door I'm paying $2,500 over sticker for my second GT500. And there's a very good reason as to why. Now, I started calling around about 2 weeks ago trying to find a second car so I can get it before the winter production shutdown, and I was very late to the game. I really was. Most cars had already been taken. At least that's what it seemed like. I did turn down a lot of deals out there because Well, I didn't want to order the car from scratch. I wanted a car that's already ordered from the dealership and had a VIN number and a build date for this year. In that process, though, I did find a few Ford dealerships willing to sell me their car for MSRP. The deals are out there. What's pretty interesting about this car, guys, is that to drive it, the best way to drive it is if you turn off traction control, and if you hold it down, it turns off advanced track. There's like 2 levels of traction control. Here we go, guys, it pops. Guys, I really do want to use this YouTube channel, this platform, in the best way possible to help all of us. So here's what I plan to do. If you're looking for a new 2020 GT500, please let me know. Please reach out to me via Instagram. That is at speed_phenom. And I'll do my best to try to help you find your own GT500, because I've called so many dealerships and I've literally made like a database of just all the dealerships I've called that are giving great deals out for these vehicles. And you may be wondering, okay, you're paying $2,500 over the price of the car. And well, if you know of an MSRP dealership, why would you not go with them? Well, the real reason why is because I want this car as soon as possible. So with that in mind, I am going to pay over sticker. It sounds incredible. And that is not even full throttle. It's like a quarter throttle. I don't know how this thing has so much horsepower for every 91 octane pump fuel. It shocks me. I really do want to help you guys out. I've already helped out many of you already, and it really does make me feel good knowing that we're using this platform to bring back to the Shelby Mustang community. It's really awesome to me. Again, my Instagram is speed_phenom, and just reach out to me and I'll do my best to try to help you find a car. Because there are deals out there, guys. There still are deals out there. There are 3,000 plus Ford dealerships. Ford's making 5,000 GT500s per year. There are definitely going to be enough cars out there, guys. And what I mean by helping you find your own car, what I'm going to try to do is just reach out to me and I'll do my best to give you all the advice I can so that you can find a car. Thanks for watching this video. If you liked it, make sure to hit that like button. It really does help me out. And also subscribe for much more great videos to come. Peace out, guys.